Welcome back to Sun Crypto Daily Update. In today's video, I'm just going to give a quick update regarding the most popular alt in the market, right? So if you have any alt you want me to cover, please put it down in the comment section. The first coin we're going to start with is XRP. When you take a look at XRP, we got a clear inverted head and shoulder, and then inverted head and shoulder is extremely bullish if it is successful, right? So, but XRP is moving away from this neckline. What I'm expecting from XRP is to come back and retest this area of the neckline, right, which is roughly 25% to the upside versus BTC, right? So this one, but one of the scary thing about XRP is that we got this. We're most likely gonna, avoid this crossover between this 50 EMA and then 100 EMA. So if that's the case, we could easily go back to 25% up. But we just have to remain very vigilant because this crossover could turn everything, very bearish, right? So that's my short-term view from XRP. And then the next coin we're gonna take a look at is Nano. Nano is extremely moving like a sideways, and then could extremely be very bullish to at least for the short term, right? So what I'm expecting from Nano, at least for the short term, is that Nano to get as close as possible to this area of a triangle, right? This end right here, and then we're gonna make some type of formation and then move to the upside, right? So what I'm expecting is that Nano to get as close as possible to this area, right? And then at least move to the upside with a 50 to 75% to the upside, right? Or at least retest this area, right? So retest this area of resistance, right, which is like a September high, right? So Nano also making like another type of formation. Let's clear everything. So when you take a look at Nano, we got a great support and a great resistance, right? Not a great resistance, but a bad resistance. So what I'm expecting from Nano, at least for the short term, is to come back, retest this area, right, which is like 2900 sats, right? So this area of 30,000 satoshis is very critical for Nano. So we just have to remain like very vigilant, and then once we get a clear breakout, most likely we can move like another 50% to the upside, right? And then the current price of Nano on the dollar value is like 90 cents, right, or 50% to the upside. If BTC remain like silent, Nano could go like at least like to $1.50 to $1.60, right? So just be very vigilant with Nano, right? And it's pretty much a safe area to be buying Nano. When you take a look at it, the rest of the alt, right, most of them moving like away from this 50 EMA, right? Most of them are above the 50 and then 100 EMA, right? So Nano is pretty safe to be buying right now. So the next coin we're going to be taking a look at is ADA. I really don't have much to say about ADA. When you take a look at it, ADA is extremely bullish. So if you're holding ADA, this is not a financial advice, but if you're holding ADA, all you have to just watch the price break the neckline, this area of this neckline right here, the right shoulder, right? So you could be watching your ADA break this neckline and then at least make a 1-to-1 extension. So if the market remain bullish, right? So but you just have to remain very vigilant, because if like we get a bad news, most likely everything gonna go sideways or turn bearish, right? So you just have to remain very vigilant. But there's not much to say about ADA. ADA is pretty bullish, right? So let's take a look at another coin, which is XLM. When you take a look at XLM is kind of like extremely bearish. We already made this three wave to the downside, so what you can expect, at least another 3 waves to the upside, right? So at least if we don't get another 3 wave to the upside, we're gonna get some rejection from this area of the 50 EMA, or at least like from this area of the if not from this area of 100 EMA, right? So you could be expecting at least XLM for from now on to like the next couple of weeks, XLM to get some rejection from this area of between 50 and 100, right? So, and at the same time, when you take a look at ADA MACD, we got a clear crossover, right, between the these two, the blue line and then the orange line. This is extremely bullish when you take a look at it right here. So you could be expecting at least, right, ADA to move to the upside, right? The price to move to the upside. Since we got this crossover, right, most likely get, you know, some rejection. Either one of these going to reject the price. We're going to come back and then move to the upside, right? That's what I'm expecting, at least for the short term with ADA. It's not making any type of bottom formation or any type of like divergence on the MACD. So you just have to be, you know, very vigilant. We could take a look at the RSI. The RSI is still extremely oversold, right? So you could expect, like, at least for the short term, right, when you take a look at this area of the RSI, at least to get some let's say, you know, move to the upside, right? So it's kind of safe to be buying around this area. The bad thing is like to be buying around this area, right? Because, you know, things can turn bad and then come back to this area, right? So when you take a look at the RSI, is pretty much like completely oversold, right? So you can expect like to start accumulating, you know, from this area, and then once you know, price get to the, you know, upper level of the RSI, you just want to, you know, get rid of your XLM, right? If you're a swing trader or a day trader, right? So at least for the short term, right? So that's what I'm expecting from XLM. Another coin we're going to take a look at is LITECOIN. Litecoin is extremely bullish, but at the same time you have to be careful, because, you know, we're most likely going to get some sort of you know, divergence between the RSI and then the price, right? So when you take a look at the RSI right around this area, right, we start to you know, the RSI is getting lower, but the price is, you know, right around this area. Price is extremely like you know, bullish, right? So you just have to remain very vigilant regarding Litecoin, right? Litecoin is making two type of formation. The first one is a clear inverted head and shoulder, you know, with a clear breakout, right? And then we're also making another 1 2 3 4 5, right, to the upside. So when you take a look at the first one, you got this inverted head and shoulder, right? So with a clear breakout, right? So with a 1-to-1 extension to the upside. So this one is successful. So the next successful formation you want to be paying attention is this 1 2 3 4 5 to the upside, right? So you got 1 2 3 4 5. So this third wave is supposed to have 5 waves, right? So the first one has been completed right here, 3 4, and I'm expecting wave number 5. And once we get this wave number 5, we're most likely going to get some sort of divergence right around this area, right? We're going to get a divergence, and then the RSI most likely going to be looking like this, right? So you take a look at the RSI, most likely going to be trading to the, you know, to the downside, right? And then you know, price going to be moving to the upside, right? That's what I'm expecting, at least for the short term from Litecoin, right? So the next coin we're going to take a look at is Ethereum, right? Ethereum is extremely bullish, right? So we get into this area of overbought, right? When you take a look at the RSI, so it's time to be you know, watching the price very carefully, right? So, and at the same time, what I'm expecting from Ethereum is a 1-to-1 extension from 0 to A and then B to C, right? So we're most likely going to get this 1-to-1 extension, and then that's, you know, another 25% to the upside, right? So my ultimate target for Ethereum versus the dollar is at 180. So, but versus BTC, I'm expecting like Ethereum to go to a 0.045, 0.045, 0.047, right? Versus BTC. That's what I'm expecting from Ethereum. So, and it is making a clear move. I mentioned on my previous video, since Ethereum was like 84, right? I was like saying Ethereum gonna come back, retest this area of you know, 180, right? 175 to 180, at least for the short term, right? So, but we got this area of resistance right around this area. So once we get to this 0.046, 0.047, we're most likely gonna get some slider, you know, move to the some slider move, some sideways movement, right? And then some slider, you know, pullback, right? So the next coin we're gonna take a look at is Neo. Neo is pretty much similar to Ethereum, right? So what I'm expecting from Neo is, you know, what I'm expecting also from Ethereum, right? So a one-to-one extension, and Neo could like retest this area of right here, this area of resistance. We get this flat correction right around there, so most likely Neo gonna come back and retest that area, right? So you could be expecting at least Neo to move 18 to 20% to the upside versus BTC. So just be mindful, and then watch your watch the price, like very carefully, because if you get a bad news, most likely everything gonna start moving to the downside. One scary thing about Neo is that the RSI is still like moving to the downside. When you take a look at this area right here, RSI is moving to the downside, but when you take a look at the price, we still like flat, right? So price is pretty much flat right around here, but RSI is moving to the downside, right? So you take a look at this area right here. So just be very careful. So I'm still bullish, but if BTC turn out to be bearish the next couple of weeks, most likely Neo gonna go back to this area of a soul, right? So just be careful. So the next one I just wanted to add to the list is that Tron. I made a special video regarding Tron making this bottom formation right around this area, right? This bottom formation. BTC made the same type of bottom formation back in 2015. Tron is making the same bottom formation, and then Nano is making the same bottom formation, right? So you could be expecting at least Nano to go like 200% to the upside, right? Just like BTC and Tron did, right? So what I'm expecting from Tron, at least for the short term, to come back, retest this 0.618, right around this area of let's see, 400 sats, right? 400 to 500 sats, actually 510, right? 513 satoshis, right? So that's what I'm expecting, at least for the short term, for Tron to come back, retest this area before we make another massive move to the upside, right? So let's say we come back, retest this area of 0.618. Tron has a potential to come back, retest this area. If not, at least a let's see, at least retest this area of 382 if you come back to a 0.618, right? And then you would be looking at at least 25% to the upside, right? So if that's the case, right, just be vigilant, and then watch your your buy orders. And then this is not a financial advice, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys like Tron, so just be mindful about the price action of Tron in the short term, right? So that's it for today. So if you like the content, let me know what you think down below the comment section. If you think like we have already bottomed out, or we most likely going to come back, retest the lows, right? So and make some new lows. Thank you for watching.